I'm sleeping with the bugs. Hello, welcome to Let's Talk. My name is Philip, and I have my two lovely guests with me this week. As always, we have Mackenzie, and our special guest this week is Rebecca. Rebecca, tell us about yourself.
I'm Rebecca.
What's your major?
I'm a computer science major. In credits, I'm a junior, but in terms of computer science, I don't want to talk about it.
Freshman.
She's a freshman. And yeah.
You're also my roommate.
I also live a life of constant suffering
Yes.
because I'm Philip's roommate. Yeah.
And long-term best friend, as well
also
as
that.
Nathaniel's roommate. Nathaniel, who is our producer and Kenzie's boyfriend and my roommate. And Rebecca's roommate.
My roommate.
Yes.
Philip's
Everything's
roommate.
intertwined.
And also the voice inside my head. We have some great topics for you guys this week. We're going to be starting with Rebecca's topic.
I am going to be talking about Monster Hunter World. Worlds?
Yes.
Worlds.
Worlds.
I'm going to talk about why I really love the game, why if you don't play the game, you should. Kenzie, you should play the game. And what I think makes it amazing.
Yeah. I also play this game a lot. Kenzie has played a little bit,
I've
but
played
she's
a little
watched
bit.
a lot of gameplay.
She's watched a lot of gameplay.
I've played a little bit, but I've come to realize it's not my type of gameplay.
That's fair.
So
It's
that's what it
That's
is.
fine. That's fine.
Perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a chillax game. It's
You're
a
still-
high energy.
Very high strung.
You're still
need
a
that
gamer
game.
girl, TM.
Oh my gosh, a gamer
Oh
girl.
my gosh. But what installation is it in the Monster Hunter series? It's been going on
Gosh.
forever.
Yeah.
We're
7
gonna
or 8.
go with forever.
I think it's the 7 or 8th game.
But it is widely known as a very good platform for. Why are you giggling?
It's 5th.
All right. It's a very
It's the 5th one in the direct series. There's been spin-offs that I was counting the spin-offs. Yeah.
okay.
Anyway.
It's a very good jumping on point if you haven't played a Monster Hunter game before, which I have not.
Yeah. Luckily with Monster Hunter in general, you don't have to play the previous games. It's highly recommended that you don't play the previous games because like the first couple were all right. And then like once they got to 3, they hit their stride, and then like it's just been improving since then.
Yeah, the first Monster Hunter game I heard of, I think, was 3, but one of my friends at school told me it was hard, and I gave up because I am weak. So I didn't get it, so this is the first one I'm playing, and I really, really particularly like it. I think it's my favorite game in a while.
Good.
I think it's good for people of any, like, gaming style, I guess, except Kenzie. But it's not easy, but whether you want to play just for fun or whether you are the person that likes to play games to get good, I think it has its merits for everybody. And I have a lot of fun.
Yeah. What specifically is your favorite thing about the game?
I like playing it with other people, specifically my 2 roommates.
Yeah. It's a very multiplayer-oriented game.
We have this ugly setup where we put 3 TVs and 3 PlayStations all in the living room. So we don't have to like mic up. We can just sit and talk to each other.
Mhm.
And it is horrendous, but it's really fun.
I have to sit on the floor.
No, you don't. I gave you a chair.
It's basically the floor.
Lies.
They-
Anyway.
They whip me. I don't even have a bed. It's horrible.
Anyway. You're not allowed to talk about it.
You gave me the smallest room. It's basically a closet.
But
Anyway.
I really like playing with my friends. I don't so much like playing with randos because I never like playing with randos and they always mess it up. Woo! But yeah, I think it's a really fun game to play with other people, and it's also really fun to play by yourself. And I think that is another aspect that makes it really well-rounded and really fun.
Yeah. They scale the difficulty depending on like the amount of players you're playing with, which is very
Fun.
smart.
Fun fact, until spring break, I had never really done a hunt by myself, like since I have learned how to actually play the game. And so over spring break, I was like, oh, I'll just kill a basil goose just for fun. It was so easy.
So, like, what do you do in Monster Hunter? I know the answer.
Well, fun fact. It's a surprising plot twist, actually. You hunt monsters.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
There's slightly more to it. You hunt the monsters and then you take their parts
Yeah, there's
and
about,
to make clothes out of
I think
them.
there's 14 weapon types.
Yes.
14 weapon types. And they're all very, very different. and
What's
they're-
your favorite weapon?
My favorite weapon and like the only weapon I use is the insect glaive.
Literally the only one. Yeah, we know.
And I think that's cool because you can be like me and you can have like 8 different insect glaives that all do different things and you only like the one thing, or you can be like Philip and you can have like 2 or 3 of several different weapons and you can do whatever you want.
I main 3 things. I main the greatsword, the lance, and the bowgun.
Which is your favorite out of them?
Don't ask me that. That's
You just like all of them?
yes. The reason I play 3 of them is because I can't pick a
also-
Okay,
favorite.
if I wanted to change what I use,
Okay.
what would you recommend?
Well, what did you try?
I think dual blades.
Okay, dual blades. Dual blades is a very high octane.
You also dabbled in
Weapon.
dual blades.
That's because I
I
played
feel like
them.
that might be part of my
in
problem.
previous-
If I change my weapon, I might like it more.
Maybe you might like the lance. It's a very, it's more like calm. It's a calm weapon because you can like sit behind your shield and like wait for the monster to come to you, or you can be like super aggressive about it. It's each weapon doesn't have its single play style. You can do all kinds of things with any weapon. Like greatsword, for example. You can either play it very defensively, dodging a lot, and with the greatsword, it's literally a sword the size of a person, so you can like use it as a shield. It's pretty great.
I just find it funny how big all the weapons are, because I know you're fighting really
It's
big
hilarious.
The
monsters,
monsters are
but
big.
the weapons are the same size as you are.
It's
Yep.
hilarious.
And I think all the different weapon types makes it really accessible for a lot of different people
Mhm.
because whether you're really like get in there, beat them up, do damage and get out, or
Mhm.
whether you're hold steady, stay in there, do chip
Yeah.
damage, help your team.
Or like if you're more tactical, you can use like the light bow gun, which lets you like set up traps and do different status effects. It's very
Or if you just like to look really
All-encompassing.
cool, you can play the insect glaive. It
Pushing that out there.
yeah.
just I will always advertise for my favorite weapon. I love it. I love my bug. I love my staff. I love to beat.
We'll
beat
throw up
things
some gameplay so you guys know exactly like what we're talking about. But I also would highly recommend the game just because
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Nathaniel uses the hammer.
Nathaniel
He's
uses a
obsessed.
few
He's
things.
obsessed with it.
Uses the hammer and oh god, it's either the switch axe or the charge blade, and he's gonna yell at me. But they're like
It's
the
the
same
switch
weapon
axe.
to
They're
me.
not the same weapon. How dare you say that?
I'm with her.
I play one weapon, Philip. One.
I know.
Every other weapon is.
Switch axe is an axe
whatever.
that turns into a sword, and the charge blade is a sword and shield that turns into an axe.
I remember when he was trying to pick his weapon, he was asking me what he should go with, and I'm like, ex- so,
Mackenzie, what do you think about Monster Hunter?
like I said, I might enjoy it more playing it if I try a different weapon, but like
Agreed.
that actually requires me having time to do that.
That's true.
But it's also really fun to watch. Like I watch her and Nathaniel play it, and I watched them play it last night while I was doing homework, and it's just so interesting. And I don't know, I've heard people call it like boring and stuff, and I'm like, how?
Well,
I'm
we're-
sitting there watching it, and I'm like,
Yeah. We're a
in
pretty
between-
solid team,
Yeah.
and watching like a solid team of hunters that know what they're doing and can work well together can be really satisfying.
Yeah.
It can also be infuriating.
some of the
plus-
monsters are really cool though, too. Like,
The in between hunts can agreeably get a little boring just because we're looking at armor and upgrading our weapons and grabbing a snack. But a
but
snack.
looking at the armor is even cool.
The
'cause
armor
there's
is
a lot of cool
freaking
armor.
sick.
There is, yeah.
Al. Fun fact, Nathaniel and I beat the game last night, and Philip's gonna be mad because he hasn't, but
Yeah, because you guys didn't even tell me that you were on the final boss.
I didn't know we were gonna fight the final boss.
You didn't even tell me.
But yeah, we just beat it, and it's so cool. It's so satisfying. I'm so excited.
The
It's
Palico
good.
armor for that monster is
Oh, a very,
Oh.
very important aspect of the game. You have a little companion called a Palico.
Yes.
It's a cat. If you like cats, play Monster Hunter right now, Kenzie.
Meow.
Right, meow.
Yeah, that. But you have a little. It's basically like a helping hand if you're soloing stuff.
A helping paw.
I'm gonna leave. It's
Please don't.
it's a helping paw for if you're soloing stuff, and I just keep her around because she's really cute. My Palico's name is Isabel. I just outfitted her in an outfit from the final boss. She looks really cute, and I'm really excited.
Okay. Well,
Philip's jealous.
yeah, I'm a little salty.
His
So
heart won't look good in it. He won't.
Peter will look great in it because Peter is adorable.
All right.
Anyway,
And
we're gonna move on now to Kenzie's topic.
okay,
What are you
mine's
gonna
not
talk
as
about, Kenzie?
exciting as Monster Hunter, but I have a lot of actually I have a lot of nutcrackers that I've collected over the years. So what's stuff that you guys have collected or started to collect and
Oh
whatnot?
God.
How about you start, Kenzie?
Anyway, like I
I gotta
said,
think.
I have a lot of nutcrackers. I haven't counted them since last summer, and so I don't know exactly how many I have, but I have two pretty long shelves full of them, and then a bunch of really small ones. And I don't remember how I got started collecting them, but I do remember the first two that I have, and the first one that I got is super broken.
Oh.
But I still have him around because he's missing a foot and one of his hands.
Oh, no.
So he's pretty old.
He's seen some stuff.
He's seen some stuff.
He has returned from war.
But it's become a thing for the past several years. If someone can't really think of something super interesting to get me for Christmas, they'll get me a nutcracker I don't have.
That's cute.
And yeah, my aunt would get them for me all the time. She got me a nutcracker snow globe, I think 2 years ago, or so. I don't remember. But when she passed away, I was like, who's gonna get me nutcrackers for Christmas? Because not even in the oh, I want to keep collecting them. Just in the way it's something that happened and
Yeah.
whatnot. And so my other aunt got me for Christmas
Oh,
this year, and I was super
sweet.
happy about it. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with these ever because I have so many of them.
You can
But
crack
they're
nuts with
cool.
them.
Can.
I guess.
Yeah. You can serve their purpose.
But yeah, no, I've just collected them for so long, and I find them really cool because there's a lot of different ones out there. I have an angel one. I have regular nutcrackers. There's snowman one. I have a Santa Claus one with a little naughty and nice list.
Oh my God.
I have one that counts down to Christmas.
If you're naughty, he'll crack your nuts. I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
had to.
And then I have some
Anyway,
tiny ones like this, and I have I think 2 candle holders that are nutcrackers as well.
oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. I don't know where I got it. I can't tell you where I got all of them, but a lot of them were Christmas gifts.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
don't think I really have a collection of anything, which is kind of sad. Because I have there are things that I specifically probably own more than I need to, but I don't collect them.
Hmm.
I have a lot of makeup. I use 20% of it, and that's only 2 times a year.
This is one of them. She's used one of her 2 for this show. I feel
Yeah.
blessed.
I have 1 voucher left. But yeah, I don't think I really collect anything.
Souls?
Yes. Ooh. That's, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a nice collection of die.
Ooh, you do
Oh,
collect
yeah.
dice, yeah.
I
I think
have-
we all collect dice, though.
We do.
I
I just got a new set over spring break.
I have
Oh
30
my
sets
God.
of
So cool.
dice, or 18. It's one of those 2
Yeah.
numbers.
30 or 18.
30 or 18.
Somewhere in that ballpark area.
You know, it could be 300, it could be 2. I don't care.
It's just 2 really big sets of dice.
Yeah. At least dice are something that I at least try to switch out a little bit. I pick 2 sets of dice for each character I make in D&D, and
We all play
They'll
D&D
get used.
together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Talked about that.
We're nerds. Sometime we should. Yes. Rebecca, come back on the show sometime.
that'll use up my 1 other voucher, so I'll think about it.
All right. I'm inviting you. It's up to Nathaniel whether you get in or not. I collect anime posters because I'm a nerd like that.
I mean, I just admitted to collecting nutcrackers.
That's true, but that's
so-
cute.
Well, if you can count something that you make yourself as collecting something, then
Oh.
you totally collect hammers.
I collect hammers that I make myself. I don't know if that counts. They're
They're
actually
not.
mallets, not hammers.
They are all ridiculous. I don't care.
Yeah, I recently made one that was taller than me. I'm very proud of that.
That's not a mallet. That's a maul.
It's a maul. Yes, I know. I also collect scrap wood. I'm gonna use it one day, I swear. If you have any wood, find me. I'll take it.
He'll be waiting
Yeah.
in the woods.
No. Chopping down
can-
trees in the woods is illegal.
I can imagine you just standing in an alleyway and popped up and be like, hey,
Hey,
you got wood?
Got any wood?
got any wood? Hey, kid.
I'll take your wood. Get
Take your
spare
wood. Yeah. I've been described as working with wood in the straight way. So, bring me physical wood from trees. Thank you very much. And I kind of collect hats. Not really. I have a lot
You
of
have like
hats.
2 hats.
I have a lot more. I only wear like 3.
We both have like little halfway collections of a few
yeah.
things, but there's not like one
We
thing
just
that
we just
go out
get
of our
things
way.
and we're like, I like this. I'm gonna buy 2 more, and then it's like, okay. Well,
All right, I'm done.
I have 3 of them now.
There's more than one. I'm solid.
I also have like a bunch of books. I don't know if that's collecting per se. I have
It's more fueling a hobby, but
that too. I'm going to count it as both
okay.
because why not?
Yeah.
Collecting can be a hobby.
When I was a kid, I collected rocks.
Aw.
Aw.
I was one of those kids.
You
But
also
it helped me.
collected anything having to do with dragons.
That's true.
Dragon
I-
memorabilia.
Loved dragons. I still do, but
I
I
love
loved them as a child. As in, like, all of my Christmases were just dragons. um,
I used to collect, oh God, that's embarrassing. I used to collect Littlest Pet Shop toys. I had, I kid you not, hundreds
Whoa.
of tiny little animals and their houses. I had like, you know those big like wire shelves that they use in like workshops and stuff that are for
Absolutely.
storing too much stuff?
Mhm.
That was covered in the Littlest Pet Shop, like houses and boxes full of my animals. I wrote little names on the bottom of all of them.
Oh
They
my
each
God.
had their own name.
Aw.
Oh my
And
god.
then like one day I was like, I'm over it. I sold them
See ya.
all to one person, and it took her like a truckload to get them out of my house.
Oh my god.
It was
How much did you
too
sell them?
much.
You're a mess.
I don't know. The money is gone. I am poor. End of story.
Okay. Here's an interesting topic. What are some of the weirdest things you've ever heard of people collecting on the internet? Or not on the internet. Maybe you know somebody that collects weird
Oh
stuff.
God.
I don't know. Ooh.
My mom collects little elephant trinkets. It's not weird, but
Oh,
it's
that's
cute. My
It's
mom
cute.
is adorable.
Yeah, I know.
I love my mom.
My mom collects those little spoons that you can get. Like they're like this big. They're not used for anything.
Oh, I know what
Oh,
you're
the
talking
little
about.
decoration
The little
spoon.
decorative
Yeah.
baby spoons.
Yeah.
Those are cute.
I actually
Oh.
got her one when I went to DC last fall because it's the
Cute.
only thing I could think of.
Yeah.
Um,
My mom collects Blue Jay figurines, little Blue
Oh.
Jays.
Oh, my mom. Sorry, I just remembered. My mom also collects like Husker ornaments. But that's
nice.
because
Oh.
my her mom and then my dad's mom will send her them, so she'll get 2 every year.
So she doesn't collect them. She
She-
just has a lot.
Yeah.
But like she started it. She started like getting them, and then they're like, okay, we're gonna
I
fuel
was gonna
this.
say,
and
is
now
she
we
just
have-
unintentionally collecting things?
No, she's
Yeah.
intentionally like she's like, yeah, I started this, keep them coming.
Good.
So we used to just like she used to hang them up on tinsel around like our
Oh.
center island and like on our ceiling, but she had to get like of, I think it's like 5 foot tall. She has like a 5 foot tall white Christmas tree that she uses for them now.
Aw.
Wow.
She has so many.
Oh my goodness.
Cute. I think, talking about weird collections, I think anybody that collects personal items of other people is a little weird.
Yeah.
Like clothing,
Mm-hmm.
like buying used clothing is whatever, but if you're like collecting other people's clothes, it just seems weird.
Yeah, so like people that collect like celebrity tufts of hair or whatever.
Any
like-
celebrity collection is too much. That's a real life person. That is a real life person. Imagine if somebody was just like gathering used tissues and like strands of hair and like old dirty underwear of yours. It's no.
I can't remember where I saw this, but I distinctly remember seeing, like, someone just had a collection of used condoms. Their own used condoms.
No!
Why? Why?
Lying to me.
I don't know, but like that's all I remember. It was like for every person they like had sex with, they had the condom. And I was like, what? I don't remember where I found it.
Oh my god. That is gross. We're going to move on to the next topic.
Yes, please.
Time to bring it down a notch. I'm actually going to be talking about something very personal to me. I'm going to be talking about Tourette syndrome, which is a very not well understood disorder. I have Tourette syndrome. It's not very noticeable, especially like on screen, because if I'm talking, then I'm not like taking. If you don't know, Tourette syndrome is it's a neurodevelopment disorder that causes vocal and motor tics. Tics are just involuntary movements or sounds, and Tourette syndrome just like makes you have those, and it comes and goes in waves, and it's not a fun time. And about 1 in every 100 like children will be diagnosed with like some kind of Tourette's, which is like roughly the same like commonality as like autism. It's about as common as autism, but it's just not very talked about. And I was diagnosed in 1st grade, I believe. That's when I started showing symptoms, at least. I don't know if I was officially diagnosed yet. And there's a very common myth about it that it just makes you like swear and scream at people and do crazy. No, that's not true. Only about 10% of people that have Tourette syndrome actually do that, which is like 10% of the like 1% of people that have Tourette syndrome. So it's very, very rare for somebody to have that as a symptom. And it's very it's not well understood because there's not a lot of like awareness pushing about it. It's because if people aren't aware of it, they're not going to donate money, which means they can't, hold big events, which then they don't raise money for research. There's still a lot we don't know about Tourette syndrome. We're not quite sure what causes it or why it happens in people. We know it's hereditary. It's passed from father to child, and men are 3 times more likely than women to actually like get it. It's really interesting, and it's really complex. They're not sure why it happens, but it's a very complex disorder, and it's very complex as to like why people get it. So they're not even sure. So since they're not sure, there's no cure. There's like barely treatment. I'm on medication that is more for like my insomnia. I have insomnia. Most cases of Tourette's come with what's called co-occurrent disorders, which can be things like anxiety, depression, insomnia, ADHD, which I have many of those, OCD, things like that, and they're just not sure why.
Yeah, Philip and I went to school together pretty much
Since kindergarten.
all of school.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't remember noticing any of your tics until like 5th or 6th grade. And I had no idea what it was, so I just thought you were acting like an idiot.
As per usual.
Well, I don't know if it's because I'm around you all the time, or it's definitely because they don't happen often anymore. But I remember your tics used to just be like a physical tilt of the head, and then just like a.
Yeah. Tics can be literally anything. Every person is different, and they can change over time. Mine have luckily gotten a little less severe. That's also due to some like personal therapy and meditation and training that I've done. There's like one treatment for it that they're trying to start pushing more instead of medication is behavioral therapy. So like training a child that instead of like flinching their arm or like punching, they clench their fist instead, and they try and use that to replace the urge to tick. Ticking's kind of weird because it can happen like subconsciously, like the person sometimes won't even know when they're doing it. Sometimes they will with the more severe ones. And it's kind of like scratching an itch, which I'm doing right now. Wow, amazing. Or like sneezing or yawning. It's just sort of like, it'll just build up until you like have to do it.
Your body just does it.
Yeah, and you can kind of suppress the urge for a while, but it just kind of like explodes afterwards, and that can be very, very rough. I know from personal experience, I've had to deal with that a lot, like having to sort of like hide it and not show it through the day, especially at certain times of the day, like this show right now.
Yeah, I think the first time I noticed it, I think you got yelled at by a teacher.
I did, yeah.
Specifically our music teacher, because he was like trying to talk to us or something, and you were over there like not really bringing that much attention to it. It wasn't a big deal. I wasn't paying attention to you until he said something. But he was like, hey, knock it off, you're distracting, blah, blah, blah.
Teachers can be assholes when it comes to stuff like things like that.
And it's because it's not well understood and it's not well researched. A lot of teachers won't even know what it is until a child has it, and then they've already like yelled at the child and sent him to the principal's office. So because it shows up so early in life, around 5 to 10 is the age when it surfaces. That's often when it's most severe, is in adolescence. A lot of teachers don't get it. I know that in 6th grade, not my 6th grade teacher, but the one down the hall.
My 6th grade teacher?
Your 6th grade teacher yelled at me because she thought I was being disrespectful. And then my 6th grade teacher yelled at her.
Granted, she yelled at everybody.
Yeah, she yelled at me later for a different reason. But she yelled at that teacher, and I got a very insincere apology.
I remember, wasn't it 6th grade when Philip's dad came in to talk to our class just about what it was, and just to say, he's not doing it on purpose, just ignore it.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
And that's the thing that a lot of people don't do, or they don't get, is that like, if you just sit down and explain what this is to somebody, then they're perfectly okay with it. And it's just that it's no big deal. But if you draw attention to it in a bad way, like if a kid's doing it in class and you make them like go sit at the front of the, there's a great Hallmark movie out there called Front of the Class. It's about a kid with Tourette's. Makes me cry. I'm getting kind of emotional right now. Anyway, but it's a very important thing to talk about because there's all kinds of disorders and medical issues that don't get the attention that some others do, and they deserve the same amount of attention. Like Tourette Syndrome Awareness Month is starts on March 15th.
Hey.
Or May 15th, sorry.
See,
it's May 15th.
I feel like raising awareness is the hardest part because people like to invalidate some of those things. And it's just like, oh, whatever, push it off, or
yeah, people don't
make
care.
it a bad thing.
They want to yell at you because you're distracted.
And so then that's why there's no like big fundraisers for that, which leads to no research because people don't care.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that needs to change. Is people need to start like realizing and understanding more about what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of it is like, oh, we have it worse than you do. Yours isn't like debilitating, or like, you know, people with Tourette's can live like normal lives. Like
Yeah, but
I know I
kid,
don't have any problems with it.
If you're a kid and you're ticking and you get yelled at for something you can't help, like
Yeah.
that's going to be damaging no matter what.
Yeah.
Also, that statement said, "It's I have it worse," is the worst statement anyone could ever
Absolutely.
Ugh.
make. Is like, you don't have it that bad, or
Mhm.
like that. That's terrible.
Yeah.
I
Ugh.
I think the worst thing anyone has ever said to me is, well, you might have depression, but you're not the only person who has depression. Other people have it worse than you. No!
Well.
No!
I had someone
Rude.
I confided in, like, they told me that, and I'm like, wow.
Well.
And this is like,
Thanks for making me feel like.
this is at my like lowest point, and
Mhm.
so it was terrible, and I was like, okay, bye. And I stopped talking to those people for like 6 months.
Yeah.
Pro tip, be nice to people.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it's not that hard.
It can be pretty funny. I can laugh at people with Tourette's because I have Tourette's. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
I knew this girl that would she would like start punching, which I thought was really funny. It wasn't funny at all, but like I could joke about it, you know, because I have it. Haha.
That's
It's the little
my
in
thing.
club. Yeah, it's my thing. It's my word. I have a little shirt. I should have worn it today. It says Tourette's ticks me off, and it's very funny.
That's cute.
But like, if you just sit down and talk to somebody with Tourette's, they're oftentimes really cool and normal people.
One
Bad example,
glaring exception
but-
is Philip.
Yeah, I'm not normal or cool.
I think you might be biased.
That's true.
We're best friends, and I hate him. Fun fact: didn't Mozart have Tourette's? I think that was a little tidbit we learned.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Or it is theorized. He showed signs of it. See, it's interesting because through history we only know of like rich people that had it, because the person that the disease is named after, he was a doctor, and he was treating a noblewoman that had Tourette's, and he like named the disorder after himself, not after
As
the
you
woman that
should.
did that had it. But it's interesting, the history of it, because like if I was born with this like 200 years ago, I would be burned at the stake as a witch, or like
Well, you
they'd
should
tr-
be anyway today.
they'd be trying to give me exorcisms, like there's a demon
There's
inside
a
of him.
demon.
Like, nah, man, my brain just doesn't work.
There's a demon in him. It's just not what's causing that.
Yeah. They do know that it's something to do with the front of the brain. The connections in your brain, the nerve connections, this thing, they don't work, and they don't communicate properly. So they oftentimes prescribe medicine that can like substitute that, like the one that I'm on, because the things that don't connect are like things like dopamine and other brain chemicals. And so the medicine that I take will just substitute in its own chemical and pretend like it's dopamine
Aw.
and just go to the other thing.
What is up, my fellow dopamines?
Yeah.
I am hip with the chemicals.
But there's some interesting research going on right now into Tourette syndrome possibly giving people like semi-superhuman abilities. If I want to toot my own horn
No,
here.
you don't, because that's false.
What?
Okay, so there's a few famous athletes that have Tourette syndrome, and they 100% credit their success to the fact that they have Tourette syndrome. There's a famous goalie, Tim Howard. He played for the U.S. team in the World Cup a few years ago. He had like 15 saves in one game.
Dang.
And he was like, the reason that he did so well, he says, is because of his Tourette syndrome. There's some way that since your brain isn't connected right, it connects in different ways, like it reroutes it. And it actually can speed up things like reaction time and fast muscle twitch time and things like that. And there's an Olympic ping pong player that had it, and
Aw,
They're
Olympic ping pong.
they're just starting to do research
Cute.
into some positives. And
Good.
since I brought up a positive thing, this episode is ending. That's a good thing.
Ending on a
Thank you, Rebecca, for being on the show.
You're mighty welcome.
You are lovely.
That's a
Kenzie,
lie.
you're always on the show. Does not
wasn't
subtract
on
from the
last
loveliness. That's true.
They joked I was dead.
That's true. She's alive. Or is she?
Alive.
Thank you for
Bless.
watching. This has been Let's Talk. Bye. Hey, you just watched Let's Talk. If you liked what you saw, check out more videos here. If you want to check out more from KNWT, click up here. And if you want to subscribe, click